start off, give Notre Dame credit. They bottled us up defensively, played man-free, packed the box, and we weren't able to take advantage of one-on-one coverage. I thought we had 4 or 5 down the field throws that we've been making and at least having a chance to make plays on. It just didn't happen today. And unfortunately, when you get man-free as much as we did today, you're going to have to be able to win some one-on-ones down the field. Teddy made a couple plays for us, but we had Noah deep. We had Jolie deep. So just, one of those days where we didn't connect. I thought defensively we were putting some tough field position. I was proud of the defense in the red zone, forced 2 turnovers, had a goal line stop, and did some good things. It's just hard playing on a short field repetitively when it comes to the score. But played a really tough first half, and third quarter, changed the whole football game.
What did you see in the third quarter, sir, that they kind of asserted themselves?
Well, we couldn't get a first down. When you're out there on defense for most of that quarter, and we had a few guys get knocked out of the game, and the depth isn't great, as you guys know already. And wore us down. Playing a lot of minutes there in the third quarter. But we had some manageable third downs. We didn't stop them, and they executed offensively. They did a good job. So, like I said, you got to give them credit for what they did in the second half.
You guys really haven't struggled to score points this season. What do you attribute 7 points to?
Well, I think CJ was off a little today. There's no other way to say it. And I told him that in the locker room. He's a great player, and he's played really good for us this year. I'm not blaming him at any point. But he has huge expectations for himself, and so do we. And I felt like we could run by their DBs, and we did. And in every other game, guys have paid for that, and we just didn't make them pay today. And it gets you off the rhythm. When you're throwing shots down the field and you're incompleting those shots, obviously it's 2nd and 10 now, right? You get behind the chains, and so it's just one of those. I hate to say it, it's just one of those days where he wasn't as good as he's been in some of our other games, and Notre Dame did a good job in the box. It was hard to run the football.
Do those injuries you had count today starting to follow up as bye week come on a good time?
Definitely, yeah. 7 straight games without a bye is tough. We had 8 last year. This is the 2nd year in a row we've dealt with that. So we definitely need this opportunity to reset mentally and get the guys healthy.
You talked about the deep shots. When you can't connect, it kind of takes you out of rhythm. Do those kind of start to pile up in game? Because you guys had 5 or 6 punts in a row, I think, at one point.
Yeah, especially when you start getting down 2 and 3 possessions on the scoreboard. It's hard, especially when you're not running the ball. We tried to run the football, but successfully. So you're getting into situations where you're pretty one-dimensional at that point, right? And their pass rush at times was good. It's a good defense. They did a good job today. You got to give them credit.
Was anything schematically that surprised you, or
no? They did what we thought they'd do for the most part. I don't know the percentage, but it was probably 75% ran free in the game, which is when it's working, keep calling it, right? And it was working.
Caden said he didn't feel like you guys have played a full game of complimentary football this year. What do you think it's going to take to kind of get that down the stretch?
Yeah, I wish I had the answer. It's not because we don't talk about it every week, and that's what I told the guys in there. We've had games where we put lights out on defense, had games where we put lights out on offense, had games where special teams was really poor. We need to put all 3 phases together. And it's a 5-game season now, so that's going to be the focus of these things, finishing with 3-phase football, complementary football, and getting better.
Was it like
wanting to see the defense play how they did today with PJ Elliott?
Yeah, I thought they played really hard. They believed that they could stop them. They were physical. There was a lot of really physical tackles in that game. And I knew Notre Dame would make some plays. I was disappointed that they got behind us in coverage a couple times. I thought our matchup should be okay. Their tight end was better than I expected. I thought he played exceptional for them. A big, tall kid, and got behind us, which I didn't expect him to be able to do.
you got a bye week, and then you got these 5 games you mentioned. How do you massage? Okay, we got to have a sense of urgency, but at the same time, we can be good enough to do this. How do you massage that sort of?
Well, the guys know that.
Yeah.
They know that, and so I'm not in there trying to tell them what to do. They know what to do right now, and they're frustrated, and they should be because they feel it. They feel like they're better than they're showing, and we feel it as coaches too. So, just rally, get around these guys, try to get them healthy, and have a great finish. Thank you.